So, MindsEye. I picked up this game from GameStop the other day and was going to record a 8 Tries episode, which is where I test out a game for the first hour or so of gameplay and then upload the highlights to YouTube so people can form their own opinions. However, I found this game is so chock full of cutscenes at the beginning that there was really nothing to show off other than the graphics, which I decided to put in the disc and completely disconnect my PlayStation from the internet to run version 1 of this game because it is notoriously full of glitches and released unfinished, as I heard before I picked up this game. I picked up this game because it was on sale and the trailer looked pretty cool, and despite all the bad reviews, I saw some gameplay by the Rad Brad and I thought, it looks like I might enjoy it for the price I can get it at. Plus, I had a bunch of coupons from GameStop, so this is how this happened. As you can see by this gameplay, at the beginning the frame rate was awful and it really had me concerned. It slowly started to balance out, but it just kept giving this blurry, dizzy feeling throughout the gameplay that I could adjust to, like it was playable, but just barely. The gameplay surprised me because everyone said, generic third-person shooter, but to me it wasn't very different from the Uncharted trilogy where you go through waves of enemies. I would like more diverse weapons, at least how far I've gotten. I've only seen a pistol, a submachine gun, and a shotgun, but I'm less than 2 hours into the game, so I'm sure a lot more crap is going to go down. All this footage you're seeing is version 1. Once I updated it, it did start to run better, it started to look smoother, and I could actually enjoy the game without thinking too much about what I was visually seeing. But since we have some clips of version 1.0, I also found these random glitches, like this lady who I'm pretty sure is a scorpion, and these cars that really need to get a room. I didn't record this, but I also managed to get my car stuck on one of the missions and failed the mission because I couldn't get the car to move and I couldn't steal another car to continue the mission. Hopefully all that has been patched. In the update I was refusing to download at the time. I just wanted to see what the physical release included. The graphics are bizarre because the textures are really impressive and some of the character graphics are really impressive, but there's so many mistakes in between. It's like if you took a PS3 game and a PS5 game and kind of just mashed them together. I'm sure with a bit more polish, this game could have looked really nice. Right now, it feels kind of like if an indie team had a AAA budget. It feels very weird. I would be impressed with this game if it was something that was released on itch.io for $40. But sadly, it was hyped up as something really impressive. That's not affecting me as much because I didn't know about this game until the day I picked it up, just on a whim. So had I been expecting, a Grand Theft Auto or even a Watch Dogs game experience, I would have been pretty disappointed. That being said, a lot of people hated on Watch Dogs, the original one, and I really enjoyed it. Alright, so maybe now that I've set the expectations for this game where I think it's appropriate, I have been enjoying the story. However, it's clear that this story doesn't represent what it's trying to parody or critique, at least in my opinion. It seems to be a lot of guesswork, which I mean is fair when you're dealing with the future and sci-fi elements as well, but it really feels like this game is trying to parody America while not being written by an American. I haven't delved deep into the development of this game, so I don't know if that's true. It seems very unfocused almost. It has the dystopian elements that everyone expects, like a surveillance state, and that all the tech is being produced by these giant corporations that kind of have a deal with the government, so there's hardly any competition and blah blah blah. But that's stuff that like people can see from a mile away. The things that in the game would elaborate on how that happens, I just don't see as very realistic. And then there's tech in the game that doesn't make any sense, which doesn't make it seem like the near future that this game seems to brag about, such as like their big thing, which is a contact lens that produces a HUD. The technology to do that seems so far advanced compared to all the other technology in the game. Like, if you can have that, you can have anything. But it seems like that one piece of technology is far ahead of everything else. And maybe it came from aliens or something, and they're going to reveal that. But I just thought that was really strange right off the bat. So all I can really say is it's an interesting story that I just can't suspend my disbelief enough to enjoy it as a critique on like American culture, except maybe on the very surface level of it. I can, however, kind of enjoy the story just for the sake of like the action and the main character trying to discover things and all that. Like it's interesting to see where things go. Just I don't think that's what they were trying to accomplish with the story. So far, with what I've played and knowing what people have said about it and what you guys have seen and what I've seen outside of this footage, I would probably, side with IGN and give it a 4 out of 10. Like, I want to give it a 5 out of 10. I want to say like, oh, it's in the middle, but like maybe in future updates it could be pretty good. I don't think it'll ever surpass Watch Dogs and Cyberpunk. I mean, maybe it could compete with the first Watch Dogs a bit. It definitely seemed like they wanted this to be the next Cyberpunk, and I just don't see enough being here for that to happen. But anyways, that's my short review of MindsEye. Also, here's a critique. The font choice for the beginning of it makes it look like MindsEye 3, and I cannot unsee that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.